arrived in Chebi. We are told in the next few minutes he would also be going to vote. We'll bring you those live pictures as soon as we do get them. And as we mentioned, when it has to do with politics, we've got our eyes and ears and the men following all the major stories happening across the country. Just on your screens now, videos is what's coming from Chebi specifically, and that is the President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo arriving, moving to the polling station, and will be voting. You know the protocol in place that every voter must go through. Your temperature is checked, you wash your hands, then you join the queue to go and vote. But of course, there's protocol for the president, former president, and the presidential candidates. So I'm sure for you who are yet to go out and vote, just bear in mind that you need to go along with your nose mask, and then respectfully do make sure that you observe those social distancing protocols, or the COVID protocols, I should say. President Akufo-Addo has also been voting in Chebi since 1992. Matter of fact, if there's anything to go by data, he started voting there as far back as when the elections started. And so he has also been Member of Parliament for that constituency, and it was from then that when he stepped down from representing the people, he went as flag bearer of the NPP and then became president subsequently. So both candidates, the NDC and the NPP candidates, seem to have some similarities. They've both been former members of Parliament. At least they've both tasted power. One is currently in power, the other is seeking to unseat the one who is currently on the chair. And we are pretty sure that by 5 p.m. when polls close and the counting starts, we at your Election Command Center will start making sense of those numbers for you as they come in. We have men in all the 275 constituencies, and when the figures do come in, we'll start the analysis for you. So the president we see is accompanied by his wife, the First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo, and an entourage, which is expected because he's currently the sitting president, so there's some military presence around him. And because they are representing their party, which is actually not supposed to be, they just have people mobbed around them, trying to see even whom they are voting for, which shouldn't be. I think that they should be given some space. Not just that, but especially also because we are in COVID era, allow the president to vote in peace. But on your screens now, the president has just been given he's dipped his thumb, his little finger, his left little finger in the ink, the indelible ink. Then his paper will be given to him. He'll go to the box to vote for presidential. I'm going to give 100 Ghana cedis to whoever can guess where Nana Akufo-Addo is going to vote. On which number is he going to be thumbprinted? I'm sure your guess certainly will be as good as mine. So you can see that he's been given the presidential ballot paper, and after that he will go on to do same for the parliamentary candidate as well. Then again, this is one significant thing you should take note of. If you're giving your ballot paper, make sure the EC official stamps the back of it. Otherwise, it will not be regarded as valid. So make sure when they tear it, they stamp the back to validate it before you can go in and vote. And then also, as part of public education, in case the paper is soiled or you voted mistakenly, that is if you possibly are not sure by the time you get to the booth, if you voted mistakenly, you could still be given a different paper, but you would have to return the first one that was given to you. So you are given a new paper to vote on. So we're just bringing you live pictures of what is happening at Chebi, specifically where President Akufo-Addo is voting. We just saw a moment ago where John Dramani Mahama of the NDC voted. President Akufo-Addo of the NPP is also voting. And from what he's doing currently before we went off air, he would go for the parliamentary candidate paper as well, or ballot paper, I should say, and vote. And I was just giving some education. In case you are yet to vote and you go out and there is a mistake on the ballot paper, you can return it and be given another one to vote. That is just by way of public education. When we do have a good feed, we'll go back to Chebi where the president is voting. Now, he's been a member of parliament for that constituency, and it was after he said that he wanted to run on the ticket of the NPP as president, he gave up the seat and then contested as the presidential candidate. After 2 tries of 2 failed attempts, on a 3rd attempt, he won. And then today, the big thing happening in Ghana is that he's going to be contested again as to whether he continue as president or would be knocked off by John Dramani Mahama. That decision is in your hands, and we at your election command center will be making sense of the numbers from 5 p.m. when polls close. So the baton is still on up until the final declaration by the EC. The next team is here to take over. Some of us will be crisscrossing, jumping in every now and then. Handing over to Bella, we have Johnny Hughes and Bernard Tebi joining us. Good morning
to
those we are now seeing.
I know, right? They've had a good sleep. Yes. well, we're very elated.
I've been monitoring, actually, so I've not been sleeping. I've been monitoring the conversations earlier with Dr. Ishmael Norman and Deep Sani, and before that as well. So I've been watching closely, yes, and listening in as well. So
I was getting
it's not all sleep.
She needs it. But let me just quickly say that earlier at 8 a.m. as well, we had the vice presidential candidate for the NDC, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, cast her ballot at the Commander MA Polling Center in the Commander Edina Eguafu-Ibrim constituency. But anyway, back on our screens, we have the president of the nation, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He's currently in his hometown, Chebi, where he is going through the process to cast his ballot. And so,
but when you were coming in, what were your observations on the street? Is it quiet? Do you have people coming out? Mind you, it's a holiday.
Yeah, so I came through, like right from Achimota through Joblu, then to the Kaukudi interchange, then through the Kanda estates, and at various points you could see long queues.
Really?
But the beautiful thing was that people were masked, and that was quite, I was very happy to see that, because I was getting worried at some points, but most people were masked whilst in the queues. Long queues, and I just hope things are able to go, orderly, and everybody gets opportunity to cast their vote.
Before polls close.
I think it's because the Electoral Commission had said that no mask, no vote.
Yes.
So it's important that we maintain it.
Right.
I really don't, appreciate the fact that we say no mask, no vote. And around the Jamestown area, the Ododudu area, you had people crammed up in a very small place because the numbers were huge. They had to split them into 2, and they were all crammed up in a compound,
Right.
And so I'm thinking what the essence of wearing the mask is.
Yeah.
If people are wearing the mask and they are crammed up,
and
they had a bit of a scuffle until the police came in to try and separate them, I'm putting 1 and 2 together. Maybe we could go back to what the Electoral Commission did earlier, where it had some 25 persons within the prisons, and and then the next set, the next set. I don't know if that's workable.
It will depend on the polling station and how it is positioned, and if the space they're in. Because when I voted, so just by way of information, we are hoping to get a better feed to the president's voting at Chebi. On your screen now is our correspondent, who's been our presidential correspondent, Nana Kwekwe. Nana, can you hear me? Right, so Nana Kwekwe has been on the president's campaign trail and will be joining us with an update of whether or not, certainly we do know that the president now has actually voted for both presidential and parliamentary, and Nana will be telling us whether he spoke to the media, what he said. What we brought you that pictures of what was happening at Bole Bamboy, where the NDC flag bearer voted. He addressed the gathering there, or the media that asked him a few questions. What his observations were. He said that since '92 he's been voting there, and clearly since '92 Nana Akufo-Addo has also been voting at Chebi. And so when we do get that good feed or that good connection to Nana Kwekwe, we will be picking his thoughts on what has gone on so far, and from there, where is the president headed? Well, we've been all advised that after voting, go home, watch TV3 and all our sister stations and follow what's happening, because we have accreditation to bring you information from every nook and cranny of the country. So the president is talking. Let's go in for a quick here.
Very mature, civilized people, the Ghanaian people. And as we have proved in the past, we have deep attachment to democratic values and culture. I'm not at all surprised that the process is going very smoothly and peacefully across the country. And my expectation is that it will be so till the very end and afterwards when the results are declared.
Finally, what's your expectation?
My hope is that what I saw during the campaign was that the Ghanaian people have appreciated the work that my government has done over the 4 years. They are aware that not all the problems of our country have been solved these last 4 years, but they have seen that the government is making a systematic attempt to confront the problems and provide solutions. And if what I saw and felt during the campaign is there, I'm hoping that they will renew our mandate and endorse the work that we have done these 4 years. That's my hope. Let me put it, that's my expectation as well, that we will have a clear victory today.
Governor, I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much indeed.
That was President of the Republic, Nana
So the
Madam, hey.
Merci.